Oh, let's get it on. All right, today let's go through this skeleton real quick. Come here, Bandit. Where are you? Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? This is my boy Bandit. I'll learn the skeleton today, and then we'll learn the target muscles we're going after for our little body shop. So, first out of the box, let's check a look at the bones. Pelvis, ilium, ischium. This is the ischial tuberosity, the bottom of the pelvis, where the hamstrings come from. And we got the same thing on the other side, ilium, ischium, femur. And we have the tibia and fibula. Bigger bone, tibia, fibula. To the spine. We have 33 vertebrae in the spine. Starting from the top, we'll count down. We have 7 cervical, so we start here. Actually, we can start from the bottom. No, we'll start from the top. We have C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thoracic. That's easier if I count them this way up. Easier if I count them this way up. The bottom here, you have 4. These are fused. 5 in the sacrum, they're fused. The first move of one start in the lumbar spine. That's why it's easier to go this way. You have 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then the thoracic vertebrae begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 of them. And you have 7 cervical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, from the side view, the spine, lumbar spine, curves in, thoracic spine, curves forward, cervical spine should have a little bit of curve this way, not curve the opposite. So that's the shape of the spine. This is a lordotic curve. This is a, lordotic curve. All right, moving on. Where were we? On to the humerus here. Pinky side, ulna. Thumb side, radial. This is your scapula. This I would call the medial border. This is the inferior and lateral border. This is the spine of the scapula. And this is the base of your skull, your occipital bone. So these are bones we'll deal with today. The muscles we're going to work on. At some point or another, we want to work from the gluteals, which we did yesterday, which come from our glute maximus, into the femur, glute medius, into the femur, that angle, underneath the glute medius inside here, glute minimus, starts a little shorter, okay? And we had our TFL, coming probably through here. Okay, today what we're looking for, we want to get our psoas major, in search of the psoas major. Hip flexors, iliacus. So, knowing our vertebrae, he starts from T12. So spin him around here. T12, all five lumbar vertebrae, runs down, inserts into your femur here. You also have another muscle, hip flexor, iliacus. You go there, you go there. So you have one set that comes from the spine. The other one comes from the pelvis. So that's what the bands look like. We're trying to find this muscle. He sits underneath our rectus abdominals, which are here. You have on top of that rectus abdominals here, external obliques, internal obliques, transverse abdominis from the bottom rib to the top of the pelvic bone here. Working our way around. If I spin him to the back side, again we had transverse abdominis here. This is where you're going to find this bottom rib here. This is where you're going to find this guy. Now he is, that's my QL, quadratus lumborum. So he goes from the bottom rib to the top of the pelvic bone here, and he has connective tissue off the transverse processes of the vertebrae along the lumbar spine. Okay, got one on each side. Into the shoulders, I want to work a little bit of the external rotators, what I know as my card number 6. So coming from here, I'll get the 4 muscles that make up the rotator cuff. We have the supraspinatus, which, believe it or not, runs through. I got to thread him. Come on, dude. Let me try this side. This side. Okay, he threads underneath. Sits in this little covey, this little hole here in the top of the scapula, little groove. Inserts into the humerus here. I then have 2 external rotators. He brings the arm away from the body. These guys, you got one here, inserts here. Got one sits right below him here. So again, they start from the bone here, insert into the humerus here. So this is going with the grain. This is going side-to-side motion. The last one is subscapularis. He sits underneath the scapula here on the front side, and he inserts into the humerus. Let me spin him. And he inserts into the humerus. He would be on the front side, like so. All right, rhomboids. Spin them. I'm going to find the rhomboid major connecting between these 2 bones in like so. Rhomboid minor sits right on top of it. And you have levator scapula here running in the meat. Get him cleaned up, shorten him up. Levator scapula running A to B like so. On top of him will be the trapezius. Knowing again, if I want to get to the supraspinatus, I got to get underneath the trapezius. I got to get beyond the levator scapula. I got to get rhomboids beyond those 2 muscles to get inside here to get onto the supraspinatus. Now let me get this guy out of the way. Let's get it on. So let's start out with oh, forgot one important guy. I did the sartorius, right? Yeah, I did him, right? Just making sure if I didn't do it, if I forgot to do it, do him one more time. I don't think I did. Did we do the sartorius? No, I don't think we did. He starts here, inside pelvic here, inside the leg, attaching below the knee. He allows you to bring the foot up like this, bend and flex here. That is my sartorius. He is the longest muscle in the body. He runs across the inside of the leg here. So we're going to try and find him and try to stay on him and trace him all the way through. Again, another muscle I want to focus on is my adductors, my gracilis. All the adductors, spin them here. Going to come off the pelvis. Insert to the femur. I got a pectineus up top. I got 4 more, brevis, longus, magnus, and one that runs all the way down. The 5th one inserts below the knee, runs the full length here. That is my gracilis. All right, I think we're good on that. This will have reference points to it another point. Let's get it on. Let's start on the glute real quick. Starting glute maximus, top of the pelvic bone. Where's my ruler? Oh shit. Again, I'm up top here. Just gonna loosen up that pelvic bone a bit. A little north and south motion, north and south, east and west, that's side to side, north and south. That's what I'm referencing. Not where you are in relation to geography. Down the corner is north. Flip it over to the left one, same deal. Again, just a little bit of side to side, north and south, just trying to loosen the muscles up, start the process of basically releasing the muscles to take the pressure and hopefully get a few adjustments along the way somewhere, whether it be in the joints themselves, in the vertebrae. Again, left side. Again, I get into the flexing to really feel the stretch and grip that muscle and stretch it down, loosen it all up. All right, let's go after the psoas major. Let's see if we can get this guy. So with the hip flexors, if I feel tightness in my lower back, because my body's kind of stuck in this flex position here, sit down all day, these muscles get short and tight, and they're very hard to get them to open up. So they always kind of feel stifling on your body and restrict your movement. And usually when they get tight and locked up, you'll notice the mobility in your lower back lessens. Or you start to move a little more gingerly. And it gets to the point where you say, oh, I threw my back out. I don't know how you threw your back out, but you see when the muscles lock up. All right, finding this guy is a little tricky. Let's see if we can get him now. Get the risers up. Again, visualization of where I'm going to find him. Here and here. So I'm going to enter this point right about here, just above the pelvic bone, pretty much the lumbar spine. Again, laying over top. I start at the belly button and move over just to the right of the belly button. Because if the belly button would be my center spine, then just to the right would be where I would pick up that muscle. Travel downward until I get myself just inside. Okay. Now, flex the knee forward here. Now, I can't quite get him because he's all in slack. So what I'm going to do now is, if I extend this leg back here, if I flex this glute and extend my spine, it's going to pull this guy straight. And there he is. I go side to side first to make sure I got him. I'm going to move downward into where he is in the pelvic region, inside that little pelvic curve. And again, hold that leg up here. If you flex it to the floor, you put him in slack. I want to open, I want to extend the muscle, lengthen him out, and then grip him and give him some north and south to stretch him. He's always in the flex position, so I want to get him moving in the extended position to open him up. Now I go in a little deeper. Now I get on the psoas itself, start to come upward. Again, if you feel you lose him, extend that leg back till you can flex him, get him lengthened out, a little side to side till you grab him. Once I got him, there he is, north and south. Side to side. So I'm working my way a little more laterally, a little more outward. Try and pick up the inner fibers of the iliacus stick. Moving out here more, trying to get the fibers that run down in through here. Again, knowing which direction I want to move my body in that north and south movement is going to stretch that muscle down. All I'm trying to do is lengthen it, take the pressure off of the contraction motion of it, and allow the muscle to elongate and release, lengthen, relax, stretch, 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 stretch. Move up a little higher on it. So what I did here is, couldn't quite get him. I'm getting in deeper, so I pull in through the hip flexor, use the muscle, pulling my knee inward. Even though there's no resistance, I should be able to control the muscle enough to flex it. Then relax the abdominals, or extend the abs open as you flex the knee in. Will line up just the psoas, and again north and south. Excellent. Let's go on the left side. Once again, if I know he starts off of here, I start on the spine here. I'm going to move just inside, so I'm going to find the muscles I'm looking for running on this angle out here. The iliacus muscle coming from the ear downward, this one kind of running, angling out. So I want to get inward on inside on that pelvic girdle. Line the hip up. Again. Start at the belly button. Go down the base of the lumbar spine. And I can feel my lumbar spine right here is directly opposite where that nub is. So that's going to be halfway down on the lumbar spine, moving over, and again right on it. If I extend the leg out now, now the other side was harder for me to find because I did it before I shot this video, and that's how I know how to use this, because this is how I figured to do it. So this one definitely okay. I come inside, working my way downward toward the femur with the stretching motion. Again, I'm going toward the iliacus muscle now, which is more inside the pelvis. Right here. That's where his origin is, so I'm going to come from that point, heading toward the femur. Work my way downward toward the femur. Oh. Oh, there he is. Oh, I'm on him now. Okay. Woo. Should feel a little more open in here on that hip flexor. Opened all that up. All right, let's go into a just a little transverse abdominis. Can I go over here for now? Actually, I'll use the top step. Again, transverse abdominis. A to B. So he would be coming from here on the hip flexors to a muscle that comes from the bottom rib to the top of the pelvic bone right here, like so. On the right side to start. Go directly on the side to get him. Actually, I don't need this step. Again, extend the muscle. Pull your rib away from your hip. That will extend the muscle open. And once he's open, just grip it and subtly just stretch him side to side. So your body's going back and forth this way. The muscle runs north and south. You can stretch forward, stretch back, stretch forward. Now move down a little closer toward the pelvis. So you started in the middle between the two. Get a little closer toward the pelvis. Oh, there we go. Now, so I'm working my way down. Again, I'm heading downward and inward on the pelvic girdle. Trying to stretch the muscles with a side-to-side motion. And again, I'm getting closer and closer to the pelvic bone. Work it all the way down. Now I'm going to move down a little farther. And I'm going to stay on that line and come just inside. Let's see what I would be. Hold on, let me get myself situated here. All right. Let's see where I'm heading. That's where I want to go. I want to come down inside of here. So this came off of here. I'm going to come down inside here and then eventually get myself off into here. So let's see what come down through. Actually, hold up. I might be here already. I'm actually here already. Go in here. So I started on the outside here, work my way to the inside part of the pelvis here, and I'm going to start to travel downward. Got it? Okay. That's where I'm going. So if I'm off to my right side, this side here, hip flexors, this side here getting more toward the abdominal wall. I'm traveling southward, coming down. At this point I'm heading right here. Out the crossover. Now what I'm looking for at the head of my femur, here and here, I'm looking for the tendinous part. With a little side-to-side motion to loosen up a little more of the connective tissue. I have a lot of muscles that run through here. So those muscles that started out with the psoas major to the iliacus, etc. A lot of things run through here. I'm turning my way outward. Working my way inward, so I do a little internal rotation on my right femur. As I turn the leg inward, kind of exposes different muscles. What I'm looking to find is my sartorius. So with him, I have to start to work my way from here on the inside. Actually, you know what? We'll stay here. We'll go into the adductors. Just sartorius another time. So if I start to come inside, I simply cross over the pubis bone right here, and from this bone here to the femur here, I start with my adductors. First one is up top here, pectineus. Second one runs a little farther down. Third one a little farther. Fourth one a little farther. And the fifth one runs down and inserts below the knee. Let's try and get those guys now. All right, starting with the top one. So again, I'm all the way deep in there on that pubis bone, right? The pubis bone is where my abdominals insert. So while you're there, feel the insertion of the abdominals into the pubis bone. That would be coming more toward the belly button. When you go outward, more to the right, head laterally, it goes into the flexors. Now I start to come down. I'm just below the pubis bone now. I will pick up my first adductor. Ooh. Again, I want to get the leg off to the side a little bit, away from the body. You know what we need for this one? Let's go with a top step maybe. Get a little height. Again, I'm going to put that leg over the top, exposing those muscles. Angle the femur about 45 degrees. I'm going to get external rotation on it to open up the hip to allow me to get inside. Oh, sit right on the first muscle right here. And again, if I'm moving from the pubis bone downward toward the knee, I'm running with the direction the muscle is going, north and south on that muscle. But side to side this way is cross fiber. I'll do a little cross fiber. Again, I want to angle to get into that pectineus, and there he is. Oh my goodness. Way up top, just inside the pubis bone, where it inserts with the femur. Way up in there. Now I'm going to start traveling downward on the femur. Move down a little farther, about an inch or so. Start with a side-to-side motion. Now we can start with a little bit of a mild north and south motion. Move down a little farther. Again, little side-to-side. So usually what I like to do is I move my body forward, and if I angle my leg like so, not out to the side anymore, but kind of long as I got it externally rotated and exposed inner fibers, let's get my body going north and south. Moving down through the adductors. Stretch, 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 stretch. Move down a little farther. Stretch. Again, your abs are engaged. North and south motion, working your way down through those adductors. Now I'm on to something here. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. Whew. So again, I play around with flexing the knee. What that does, it takes the gracilis out of the movement, which allows me to get into the other adductors first. I'll take care of the gracilis by himself. So I put him in slack, and allows me to get into the adductor brevis, longus, magnus, the ones that run down the leg a little farther. Whew. Okay, I'm about midway down the thigh here, down the femur. And again, still running that north and south. Feeling a lot of stickiness, and just feels good to stretch everything. Again, playing around with the angle of the femur allows me to work the muscle in different angles because the fibers don't run just in one direction. They have the ability to move in different directions. Ooh, what's that right there? That might be the sartorius. It is. Okay, we have now found our sartorius. So about halfway down the thigh here, if I go to a side-to-side motion, I feel a little skinny muscle known as my sartorius. That was the one that starts at the pelvic bone, runs down inside the femur, and inserts below the knee. Allows you to flex your knee. It's called the talar muscle, longest one in the body. Remember that guy? Well, there he is. Ugh. And he feels a little sticky. So I'm going to go side to side. I want to stay on him now. So I go side to side. I can move down a little bit. But I start with the side to side and make sure, oh, there he is again. Once I got him side to side, traced out, I go back to the north and south. Again, move down about an inch or so, side to side, so you get right back on the same muscle. There he is, the north and south. Be patient. If I straighten out on the knee, that elongates him. If I flex the knee, that puts him in slack. So, I keep me elongated and try to stretch him. Move down another inch. Again, now it gets a little tricky because you're running close to the gracilis. The sartorius runs inside of that and kind of grooves in between the vastus medialis, the quad muscle. So I want to make sure I stay in between those two muscles And right back on that sartorius. Oh, he's bad all the way down. Now, you might be on this and feel, like when you're generally on the big roller, feel this muscle and think it's part of your quad, but it's actually underneath the quad, or inside of them. Hey. Move down a little farther. So you're going to flex the knee. If I lengthen the leg out, allows me to get him in a little easier. There he is. Back to north and south. I find he's most sticky in the areas where they're more inclined to stick to other muscles. And this would be the case of the vastus medialis. Hey. There he is again. North and south. Again, don't think you're on the muscle right out of the box. I always do a little side to side anyway, because a lot of times if it is, different muscles running through the same area, just the side to side alone helps separate them, break them up from sticking together. You have the fascia, which is like the casing the sausage, which is going to be a little sticky. So I want to make sure the muscle can contract and not being prohibited or stuck to another muscle when it tries to do it. Okay, from here, since we picked up the sartorius, we're going to come right back up on sartorius midpoint. Now we're going to go north, because I want to see if I can trace him all the way back to where he comes from the hip flexor. So again, this is going to be side to side all the way through on this one. Because you'll only be able to trace him all the way up with the side to side because he runs on an angle. Everybody else is running north and south. He crosses over. And there he is. And I got him now. I get a good range on him. I'll give him a little on the angle. There's my north and south on those fibers. Oh. Now again, how I get him, I'm going to find him just inside my rectus femoris, center quad muscle. And now he runs in between. He's going beyond the vastus medialis. Or at the bottom, he was kind of running with it. And I can see he's a little sticky up here. I've got my north and south motion on him. And I'm going to stretch him. I'm going to grip him and I'm going to stretch. I'm going to pull my body forward and stretch that muscle downward. Grip it and stretch. Stretch him down. Okay. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Again, start to work my way through. Kind of running now neck and neck with the sartorius and the rectus femoris. Hey. Move my way back up. Again, staying inside rectus femoris, the quad muscle. Stay on that sartorius. He's going to start crossing over that muscle very shortly. A little side to side. Move up. A little side to side. Now, by going side to side with my femur angled at the right direction, making sure that the side to side is a sartorius angle as opposed to the rectus femoris angle. So that I know which muscle where he is, so I got to angle the bone to make sure I can line him up side to side. Now I can play around with these are the fibers for the quad, rectus femoris. To the outside here, there goes the quad through here. So again with that sartorius, he travels up, crosses over the head of the femur. And again, you're going to come inside the head of your femur, up toward the pelvis, side to side motion. And right here, I will pick him up just at the top of the head of the femur. He will insert into the front portion of my pelvic bone, the ilium. Now just off to the side a little bit. He's just a little bit to the side of the iliacus, the hip flexor. Come around here. There he goes. There we go. Oh, I just unlocked my back. There we go. Now I got a little sartorius, little hip flexor going, kind of working that same area because I came over the top. Allowed me to really get in there, deeper on those hip flexors, the way I worked my way in. Ooh. And as I got toward the top, I felt my pelvis kind of release all on the left side. Let's do the right side, left side. No, I did this one before. Okay, so what we do here? We'll start with the transverse abdominis and then work our way around. And again, I'm back on the floor, focusing on the bottom rib, the 12th rib, top of the pelvic, iliac crest. With the side-to-side motion, stretching that tissue this way and moving it side to side. I come up under the rib, under the bottom rib. That's more of the tendon of it. Gets a little sticky and gummy in there because we have a lot of connective tissue right there coming from your spinal erectors. Loosen it up, peoples. Now going south. Move down toward the pelvic bone. Oh, I'm just above the left hip, left pelvic bone on the side. Again, staying on that transverse abdominis, stretching it more, right? Push hips forward, pull it back, stretch it forward, pull it back, loosen up that tissue. Now I'm going to start to work my way in there. Let's see if I can do this. I'll try it. The step for now. Again, stretch the abs open. Open up the QL. Transverse abdominis. Rotate in. Once it's all stretched out, should allow you to lay directly in there. Might need more height. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, so I'm going to meander my way from here. I'm going to start to come down in through here, through the pelvis. I just opened up transverse abdominis. And then again, I want to start taking care of the sartorius. Remember, it comes from here, wraps inside here. Adductors all the way down through the leg. This one, I'm going to start with the sartorius. I'm going to try and find the sartorius first. Or at least take care of the origin of it. So, external rotation on the left femur. Turn that hip out. I'm trying to get inside here. I'm going to find the sartorius, knowing again he's going to wrap from here downward inside the femur, below the knee. And there he is. I get him on a side to side. I'll get everybody. Move down a little farther. And how I know I got him, I feel he starts to run across. He's right here, top of my rectus femoris. When I go side to side, I can feel them both moving. I start to externally rotate the femur. More turnout like a frog's legs, to allow me to get inside. Start to move myself up that. Let that nub go down the leg. And again, I'm releasing all the way through, starting from the pelvis, heading downward, knowing the angle I gotta run. I just traced them on the right side. Let's see if I can keep them on the left side. Again, I can't find them. Side to side. Trace. There he goes. Oh, yeah. Woo! Again, I'm always visualizing in my head what it looks like, where the muscle is. I try to get my bearings on my body as far as where I am with that nub. A lot of times what it feels like isn't anywhere near where it is, as much as understanding where you are in relation to your bones. Halfway down the femur, inside, outside, etc. And where you are in relation, visualizing with other muscles. Which way the fibers are running, which way the muscle is running. So knowing which way to work. So what I'm doing is I was taking care of the sartorius at the top. Now I'm starting to work my way all the way in through my adductors. Coming in toward the pubis bone, all the way up top, I will find my pectineus, the first one. He's deep in there. Again, knowing he runs from my pubis bone to my femur, I need to know which way is a cross fiber and which way goes stretching. This direction would be stretching, which you would say to side, but because of the angle of the muscle, I know it's lengthening it. Now to start moving my way down the adductors a bit. Okay. So I'm going to work my way inside my rectus femoris, inside my gracilis, that's why the knee is bent, and I'm going to work my way, again, trying to get length to the muscle fibers. I start with a side-to-side motion to identify them with a cross fiber, and then focus a lot more on the north and south, going with the grain. In this case, it's going to be a downward stretch on the muscle, or I guess me, it's stretching it up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And I'm gradually inching my way down, not to be on the same area for more than maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 stretches. While I'm doing that north and south, I'm changing the angle. That allows me to work the adductors a little more to the inside toward the gracilis and a little more toward the rectus femoris, center quad muscle. Work my way down a little lower. Again. Okay, now back to the sartorius. Halfway down the femur. Oh, I got the knee to adjust already. Felt my knee joint goes pop. So I go with the side to side, so I pick up my sartorius again. And I want to trace him down inside the knee like I did on the other side. I'll turn my body around here. I don't think we're going to get beyond these muscles today. Yeah, we'll keep going. The hell. You gotta leave, you leave. Okay, there's the sartorius. Ooh. Hey, stretch, 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 stretch. Directly on that muscle. Oh yeah. It's electric. Move down about an inch or two. About 2 inches. Again, there he is. Identify the muscle first. Then, this guy's hot as a pistol, I'll tell you that, boy. Woo! Ah. Down a little farther. Again, how far do I gotta go? All the way down to the bottom of the femur. Muscle inserts below the knee. So I want to push them all the way down so I get toward the tendinous part. Hey. Further down. Bottom. Pretty much this is the last of it. Yeah, there it is. North and south. Feels good. Feels amazing. Wow. As painful as it is. So loosen all that shit up. Stretch. Now let's do the gracilis on the left side and the gracilis on the right side. So from here, I finished on the sartorius. I'm going to move over one muscle. Right here. There's my gracilis. Not liking this position on this thing. There he goes. North and south on it. I think I need to adjust position. Let's see the best way to get this angled. Let's see if we get on here. There it goes. All right, so I moved up halfway up the center femur, midway up the femur, I'm sorry. I'm gonna bend the knee. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Wow, flop. Oh, man. I want to keep that knee straighter. So I keep the muscle elongated and stretch him. Downward toward the knee. There he is again. Oh. Woo. Down a little farther. Again, if you're not on him, side to side first. At him, north and south. Don't bother going north and south unless you've already done the side to side on him. Again, if I bend the knee, it puts him in slack. I really can't quite get him. I'm gonna straighten that knee out more. It elongates him. Move my weight upward on him. And I want to get him. Oh, we go. There we go. Now about 3/4 way up the femur. Heading up toward his origin. Move up a little closer. And again, making sure you stay on the gracilis. Don't fall onto the hamstring. And don't fall off onto the adductors, just sitting inside of it. Excellent. Right side. Get into the gracilis there. Again, there's never any rhyme or reason to the directions I go in. It's always a matter of I kind of go in places and choose a path and kind of stay with the flow of it. And it could be a totally different entry point, angle, position, etc. to do the same thing. The way I work into it or how I get to it on the gracilis. So this guy, I'm going to start mid-thigh. It's always easiest on a muscle. From here, I bend the knee and I straighten him out. Again, in here, sartorius, right there, gracilis. So it's side-to-side motion, and whatever muscle goes flop, 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 at least if you got one, that is your gracilis. So from there, I start to go north and south. Notice how my leg has to move because my hips got to move. I just felt an adjustment in the ankle joint. as I'm loosening this up. Yeah, it's a little tender in here. Now I'm going to move downward. Alright, now stay. Again, I knew exactly where I just was, so I moved down about 2 inches below that. I start with the side to side, so I know I'm on the gracilis. My stretch position should be able to reach where I finished before and a little beyond, so I don't miss any part of fibers between the movements. Moving downward. Again, side to side. Pull them out. Bend the knee, puts them in slack, straightening the leg out, opens the muscle up, elongates it. There he is. North and south. So again, it didn't matter we did this muscle separate from the other adductors. This muscle has nothing to do with the other ones. So it could just be that I come in and I'm injured just in this one muscle. The other leg is pretty much fine. But if I'm having knee pain on the right side, it may be certain muscles in this leg, specific muscles, that are the problem. Generally speaking, if one muscle in an area is jacked up, usually everything around it is jacked up as well. But it's really uncovering the chain of which link started it, or making sure you connect all the links together. Getting down just inside the knee. Okay, now I'm going to head north, and that's going to be a wrap today. Okay, well, let's see if we get into this. And my knee just adjusts when I slid out. Just went pop. Nice. And that again is all the muscles relaxing and loosening up, allow the joints to adjust themselves. Get a little oxygen as it adjusts itself. Let's get that gracilis again. Starting up top. Hey, there's something sticky right here. What the hay is that? Listen up, big guys. And again, playing around with the angles, making sure that my gracilis isn't sticking to the other adductors, which it appears on this leg. If I internally rotate, it feels like it's a little sticky toward the other adductors. Stretch and stretch. Okay. Wow. Left knee just adjusted again. So I'm going for it. Finish with a little scapular work. That felt pretty amazing on my legs. Took a lot of pressure off my lower back because I released my psoas, all the muscles basically coming off my pelvis. Which yesterday, if you were 2 days ago, if you were with me, we did the glutes, spinal erectors, a lot of other muscles involved in the pelvic area, all dealing with lower back stiffness and tightness. So usually it's unlocking all of these muscles where people just go to generally get their lower back muscles loosened up, but everything else around it, below it, next to it, above it, etc. is all jacked the F up. All right. Now again, remember the visual. Muscles on the scapula. One here, one here. Supraspinatus is up in that groove there. Subscapularis on the inside, a little trickier, harder to get. This is the last one. We're just going to work on stretching these guys out. A little loosening, but mostly gripping and stretching. So I'll start on the right side first. I use the harder nub because I want to be able to grab the muscle and stretch it and stretch it. I'm not going to be doing a lot of side to side. It's grab and stretch, grab and stretch, grab and stretch. So I'll start with my, let's do the infraspinatus. So I'm at the top of the scapula. Where's my skeleton? Upper part of the scapula, then we'll move downward to this one. I'm gripping from the medial border and stretching outward, stretching outward, stretching outward. Muscle runs to the humerus out there. So again, I grip it. And play around with the scapula in position. Moving the humerus allows me to elongate and get control of moving that muscle. So if I just lay here, if I go back and forth like this, I can feel the muscle kind of moving over top of the nubby. Now I'm going to grab it and I'm going to move my shoulders to the left. Now bring the arm up through and stretch. So again, I'm going to move to the side. I'm going to stretch the muscle first, and I'm going to reach the arm away from the body and stretch through the shoulder. Stretch. Again, move a little lower, grip the muscle, stretch it, and then reach. As I'm reaching, keep turning and stretching that infraspinatus. Reach that arm up, stretch it open. Gonna move the arm back and forth as I stretch that muscle through. One more time, grip it. Again, I'm trying to grab a portion of the muscle. Stretch it, and then reach the arm away from the body. So pretty much holding the muscle in place, and then trying to reach the arm away, forcing the muscle to stretch. I got a good one there. Felt the adjustment all the way through my shoulder girdle. Again, you should definitely feel movement in the bones, popping and sliding and shifting, everything. I'm going to bring it, I stretch those muscles and move the arm through motion. So now I'm going to grab and stretch it. And imagine, what sport do you play? Is it tennis, football, etc.? So from here, I'm going to grab the external rotators. I'm going to stretch them, pull to the side and stretch them. Now, while they're stretched, I'm going to bring the arm back like we're throwing football. Pulling back through. Swing the golf club. Tennis racket, arm up over the top, all the way through. Again, bring the arm up. Stretch those muscles as you pull through. Oh, that's a good one right there. And let the scapula protract. Stretch those muscles open. And release. Whew. Okay, supraspinatus. We'll try to trigger point this guy. So I got to get him. Remember, he sits inside that little track right there. Spine of the scapula. So I got to get a downward position. In other words, get the nub coming into my body this way. So if the nub's on the floor, I just got to simply get myself inverted. So I want to find the top of the scapula right here on the flat side. Lift my hips up to get it coming downward. Driving the top part of my shoulder here, my scapula, into the nubby here. And there he is. I'm right on him. Now, if I take my hands, turn my palms in like this, that allows me to kind of stretch it open a little bit. I can grip him and I can stretch him. Grip him and stretch. So I'm moving my hips this way, grabbing the muscle and stretching it away. So again, I'm going to grab it, move my hips away and stretch. And make sure you're down in that track. You're not up on your traps. or in this case, the levator scapula. Now there he is. Bring my arm like I'm going to do an overhead shoulder press. Do a shoulder press motion, not a bench press motion, shoulder press motion, and feel that muscle move against the nubby. Pressure it. Hold it from there. Stretch it open. Again, now I'm going to grip that muscle and I'm going to stretch it. Bring your hand down, slide it under. That's how I stretch that guy open. Put your hand behind your lower back. Flip over onto it a little bit. And there he is. Ooh. Right on him. Little side-to-side motion to kind of lengthen him a little bit. Stretch. Again, grip and stretch. Really stretch that muscle down. Amazing. Let's do the left side. Woo. Again, I'm going to do the entire scapula because I know I have muscle fibers that come one set that's from here, one set that's here. So if I start here and work my way down with a grabbing and stretching, grabbing and stretching, grabbing and stretching. As I stretch the muscle away from midline here, stretching it outward, I want to make sure I can move the bone, the humerus where it inserts, away as well. So I'm grabbing the muscle and stretching it, allowing me more freedom on my arm. At least that's the objective. Left side. And get up on that scapula. So again, I find this is the spine of the scapula. That's the medial border. That's the lateral border. More toward the bottom, more toward the top. So I know all the bony points of the scapula, so I can work my way around it. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the medial border, top part of it. That's where I'm going to find the first set of external rotators. So I'm grip it, stretch, stretch. Whee. That's electric. Again, grab it, twist, turn, give me that stretch, the twisty stretch. And then from there, let's see if I can even reach my arm up right now. Wow. Again, trying to grab it and stretch it, release the arm out. Grip it, turn, stretch. Again, find another section of the muscle, grip it, stretch it. I move my body away to stretch the muscle first and reach that arm. And again, always trying to stretch away from your spine. So it's an outward stretching motion on that muscle. It seems to be a little worse as I get more toward the lateral side, the outside of the scapula. Grip, stretch. Over the top here, grip, stretch. So keep doing it. I'll move again. So I'll just stay on one spot. Twist it and stretch it. I move to another section. And again, it's getting a little looser as I go. Let's loosen that guy up right there. Wow, he's electric. I'll put the scapula down here to kind of soften him up, put slack in him. Allow me to just loosen him up a little. And I can reach the arm back out again, extend open, and expose him. Onto the supraspinatus. And I think we'll wrap it up from there. So once again, body position, I got to get downward angle. I get on top of the scapula, right inside the spine of it. Shift my body weight, get right on him and right into it. There he is. Oh, moving the arm through. As I move the arm away from the body, I can feel that muscle that I'm pressing on moving. Now, stretch him. I'm going to grip him and stretch him. Again, a downward push. Stretch away from the body. Let me grab him. Okay, now I'm going to try and go a little with the grain here. There we go. Now that I work my way onto him, now I can go this way. Oh, look at that. Right on him. Check the arm position. That made me get in there easier. Internal rotation. Open that shoulder up. Allow me to get inside the spine of the scapula. And there he is. Amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap today.